Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of my extreme deep cleaning series. If you missed the first part, I would highly suggest to check it out because there have been so much going on and we already got so much cleaning, decluttering and organizing done, and all spiced up with a bit of house project what was needed for better organizing. But now let's see how much we can get done today, diving deeper into deep cleaning. So we are continuing the day from the previous video and we got to the point to start dusting and take down the decorations. And yes, we still had Easter decors on, but we are still in spring, so let's just take it that was a spring decoration. I am dusting by the order from top to bottom and just don't look at my socks. Oops, you definitely did, didn't you? And I am just kidding, but honestly, if you truly want to open up your dirtiest cleaning secrets, well, just don't do it in white socks. Pulling out everything from the cabinets plus exposing dusty spaces will definitely pull out the hidden dust. I feel like we speak so much about dusting the outside surface that we forget that dust is everywhere, even in your cupboards, drawers, and it doesn't matter if they haven't been touched or mostly closed. And believe me, I know we don't have the time and the energy to look after the inside spaces as well, but at least once a year if you can clean them out, if not all in once, then little by little, and you also combine that cleaning with decluttering and organizing, it will be life-changing. There will be less dust, but most importantly, less clutter and more organized space. Even if it's hard to believe, but a small drawer that finally gets organized and freed up from clutter, it will make your cleaning and your life feel lighter. If you don't believe me, try it, I promise it won't hurt. I almost forget about the TV. I don't know if I will ever get used to that. Even if it's now mounted on the wall, it's still there and the dusting order is starting with it. If I don't want to dust twice.
Got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better.
I still can't believe that we finally got new TV stand and the side cabinet. I was planning to have them for so long. It just feels so good to have furniture that are practical in this house and holds all the bits together but otherwise would make the space feel messy or cluttered. Those what we changed perfectly fit and were as practical as they needed to be in our previous home, but not in this one. We had them for quite a long time, like 7 or 8 years, but under that many years so many things changed and so many things we don't use since then, but also added new ones in. The layout of the house changed, so we really needed this change, probably more on the organizing side. I really believe in decluttering and organizing. I not always did, or I think it's better to say I not always knew what really decluttering and organizing meant. From where we are coming, there when we were kids everyone was just collecting and collecting stuff, saying one day it will be good. It never was a rich country, so people got used to keeping everything what they get and gathered so much that when their children got married, they been sent in marriage with a household stuff, but that habit stopped before we got married. My mom wasn't as badly collecting stuffs, but we still got to see it from our grandparents, so decluttering and organizing stayed far away from us. Then we had our first son and kids come with a whole other household, flooding stuffs, toys and baby furnitures, the constant battle with outgrown clothes, and that's when I started to dive deeper in the organizing world, and now I am slowly turning into an organizing addict because it truly makes my life easier and our home cleaner and tidier. I can so much appreciate when something is clean, even if it's just visually clean. Believe it or not, but still today after the kids are in bed and I finally got to sit down on the sofa, I am just admiring that how clean and neat that TV side is looking. We still have to add the doors to cover the stuffs inside the TV stand, what will make it even cleaner looking, but it's already made a big difference.
When we go off-road, yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on us.
The surface dusting is done, so it's time to find those hidden bunnies as well, and as you can see we got plenty behind and under the sofa. I told you I won't let any hidden dust to slip out of my attention, and I will move everything what I can to make sure these dust bunnies won't hide away any longer. This is why I never liked the sofa this way, but I had to compromise to have a bigger space with 2 kids. Anyway, did you know that dust can absorb odor and give your home a stale smell? Just a quick trick to prove. Have you ever ever noticed that your house smells so much nicer once you dusted all the surface and vacuumed up? Like even your room freshness scent got stronger? Because I definitely did, and next time when you dust and vacuum, just take a moment, and it might sound odd, but smell your home. I am sure it will smell fresher. I used my vacuum to dust the windowsill. It was on hand, and as you know, the windowsills are our cat's territory, so there is fur or even mud when it's wet outside, and nothing gets rid of fur better than the vacuum.
Think we could go far, we don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart.
Then in the first part I said I like to get the fabrics cleaned sooner than later because they need time to dry. This is now a bit slipped to later than the usual because it's early afternoon, but if you saw the first part then you know that we already got so much done on this day. And just to make things easier for me, I will wash the kitchen curtain as well. In previous years I've worked in both spaces in the same time, but this year since my goal got slightly different because now I want a bigger impact, now I am focusing on one space at a time. I already talked about that how stuck in life I feel and that I have so many ideas and plans in this house, but I just cannot move forward, and the harder I push and want to move forward, life pushes me back even harder. It's just hard looking after the kids full time, but dreaming and planning and working towards to have a career. Now we have the field back home, our dream, what turned into a nightmare in the last 2 years, so it's hard, but before I would make you depressed, I know easy times will come too. Now it's hard and harder and sometimes terrible, so there should come better days as well. After rain is always good weather, so we just need to keep pushing hard, take the obstacles, and we get our rainbow. And this is me pushing hard to get at least what I can control, the house in a state in what it needs to be. What is your least favorite chore, guys? Because to me it's definitely the window cleaning. It just takes a long time and there are so many holes and lines, and let's not forget about the fact that when we moved here and I was cleaning my window, I just got a look from the neighbors, and not seeing them clean their windows for years made the window cleaning feel quite uncomfortable. Lately I saw I think 2 or 3 of our neighbors to clean their window after living here for nearly 4 years in a minute, so I started to feel a bit more chilled now. But back to the cleaning. If you decided to clean your windows, just make sure to clean those holes and lines, because staying on track of it day cleaning will prevent the need to use a steam cleaner and spend a half a day cleaning them, so a quick wipe in every inch really saves you time and energy. Then I wanted to mention this because I feel like it's a bit misleading, so I started to use this window cleaning method to wash the window glass down, then vacuum it, but what we cannot always see are the lines what are left behind as you vacuum your glass. This is why you can see me sometimes wipe the glass after vacuuming. Actually I need to wipe lines from every glass bit, but I just try to shorten the process to don't be too boring to you guys. But I still felt the need to highlight this to you because I saw many videos in which they wash down the glass, then vacuum and they are done, but that's not always the case.
The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time.
And this time the radiator only needed a wipe from outside. Until the heating was on, the dust couldn't stick as much inside the radiator because as the warm air rises, it moves the dust as well. I usually do an inside clean at 4 so I can remove all the dust what accumulated under the warmer months.
I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me.
The curtains been washed, but they sat a bit longer in the washing machine, so they might would look better ironed. As for now, I will hang them, and if they don't get straightened by their weight, then later on I will iron them.
We're like superstars Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. Uno, dos, tres, yo.
And finally we got to the end of my poinsettia era. I decided to throw it away because it just made such a mess. I have too much on my hands already. I cannot just take care of a needier plant, to be honest. And yes, I know my socks are nasty and I am on the top of the worktop, but I always sanitize the worktop before cooking, and although I am not sure if I left it in the video, but I did wipe the worktop after I finished, so don't worry, everything will be clean end of the day. The window cleaning was the chore, but I didn't want it to leave to the next day because I just love adding the clean curtain on a clean window, and at least my least favorite chore will be done. Once we are done with the living room, we will clean the kitchen because as you can see, the dishes are starting to pile up and I am really starting to mess it as I clean in the living room. As they say, it gets worse before it gets better, and I promise you that once we finish both spaces, everything will be sparkling clean. This curtain is too creased and half dry, so it definitely won't smooth out any better. I anyway need to do a DIY on this curtain because it's longer than I would prefer, and then in the same time I will iron it as well.
Call your friends and make a plan. Let's have ourselves a date. No promises or consequence. We have no time to waste. We go from London to Paris, city to state, drive 100 miles an hour, staying out too late, living life as a nomad, take it day by day, 'cause there's no one to take.
Then because I needed to add stuffs back on the windowsill, I just quickly polished it. Then instead of the poinsettias, I added the amaryllis in here. It stays only in water and all I need to do with it is to add a glass of water here and there, so it's much easier to look after.
The sunny days, they shine a light on me. Can't let them go to waste. They feel so far away when all the sky is gray. I miss the sunny days. Go speed ahead, relax.
Then now it's time to reveal the next nasty and dusty space, which is behind my desk. Do you remember that I spilled my coffee and I was convinced that it didn't float away too much? Then I realized that my computer was stick to the desk because the coffee got under the computer, and that's when I realized that it actually got on the wall. I guess I was in such a hurry to wipe everything dry before it broke that I haven't really realized how bad the situation actually was. But that time I didn't have the time to fix the wall, so we will fix it today. And although I knew it isn't possible to wipe it off, I tried it and I was right. So we will get to the painting in a minute, just first we have to prep the scene.
Instead, let time show you the way. Don't complicate or hesitate. Enjoy your sunny day. We go from London to Paris, city to state, drive 100 miles an hour, staying out too late, living life as a nomad, take it day by day, 'cause there's no one to tell us what to do. I want the.
And if you are wondering why I am prepping the dining area when I need to paint behind the desk, is because I will paint everything from the skirting boards to the wall. I love the white walls, it really makes the house look and feel larger than it actually is, but it shows the marks better than a darker color. So to make the space feel and look cleaner on a deeper level, I will touch up the walls. Then at the last seasonal cleaning we got the skirting boards on, but we didn't paint them, so now I wanna make sure to get that done too. Everything just looks better when it's is nicely painted, plus another important reason why I want them painted is to be easier to clean them. Once they are painted, they get a bit of glossy layer but doesn't hold the dust so well like when they only have primer on, what is anyway a layer what helps for the paint to stick better, and it does its job so well that even wiping a dust is a chore. So once they get the final paint, I will be able to better vacuum them, and then I don't need to get on hands and knees to wipe them.
Sunny days, they shine a light on me. Can't let them go to waste. They feel so far away when all the sky is gray. I miss the sunny days.
We added shorter skirting boards back than the previous one, so in some places the wall is missing the paint where the skirting board starts, and you cannot even imagine how much it can change a lick of paint in those areas. Finally the walls will look finished, making the war room feel more like a wall. Yesterday I was focusing more on the skirting boards and I got this side fully painted, so today we can move everything back to its place once I finish touching up the walls. I am not the best painter and I am a bit lazy getting the tray out for the paint and cover the floor and all that stuff. I just feel like until I get those done I could just finish the whole project.
Sunny days, they shine a light on me. Can't let them go to waste. They feel so far away when all the sky is gray. I miss the sunny days.
Much better now that the coffee lines are slowly fading away. Now all it left is to clean the floor. There is a whole cable jungle, so dust will get stuck between them, and for more efficient cleaning it's better to use your vacuum. I also vacuumed the printer and the Cricut from behind, so when I push them back the dust won't fall down. Then because there are so many cables and electric stuffs, I use a damp cloth to wipe the floor. I just better can control it than a mop or my steamer, so I can make sure nothing gets too wet but will be as clean as possible.
So sick, so sick, so sick of love. So sick of love. I'm tired of always see the better in people or the things that matter, but I never could have thought that could.
It's time to move the furniture back. I like this stage because it means we are over the hardest part and we are moving closer to finish, but we aren't finished, so don't go just yet. So I vacuumed the printer and the Cricut from the front and everywhere before placing it back. I vacuumed most of the dust, then I also wiped the rest off.
In my bag it was you, in the echoes of your lies, dear. Can you hear me harmonize every word that comes out? It almost got the best of me, but now I've gotten so sick, so sick, so sick of love. So sick, so sick, so sick of love. So sick, so sick, so sick of love.
One last quick clean for the floor behind the sofa to make sure there is nothing nasty left behind, because I just realized that dirt accumulated under the skirting board. There is a bit of gap because the floor isn't level and nor the regular or the steam mop could reach it. That's why I just used my nail and the cloth to get the dirt out from that little gap. This time I got this flash floor cleaner to try. You can spray it straight on the floor. I don't know if it's designed with steam mops as well, but it did a good job. The floor wasn't cloudy afterwards and its scent is really nice.
I'd rather be naive and bitter. Decorate my lows and glitter. Karma hits you like the mirror.
The sofa is back, but before we could clean the rest of the floor space in the living area, let's just quickly finish off the dining area, so it will be easier for me to move around.
You're too late now. In the echoes of your lies, dear. Can you hear me harmonize every word that comes out? It almost got the best of me, but now I've gotten so sick, so sick. I'm so sick of love. So sick, so sick, so sick of love. So sick, so sick, so sick.
I love how clean the wall is looking now that I painted it here in the dining area. With the kids sitting next to the wall, the white wall quickly gets splashed with food. Even us adults easily can make accidental food spots on the wall, so it's inevitable. Thankfully, a splash of paint can quickly fix this issue. We already decided what chairs we want here. We really need to change those as well. We started to paint them so many times, but we got stuck at the primer, but since then been wiped off and faded away. I don't know yet when we will change them, because as for now we have other budget plans, but I cannot wait because that would again transform this space. Now it's time to touch up the rest of the walls so we can finish the floor cleaning as well. I am working in sections, so the living room will be back in shape faster than waiting to place everything back until I get all the chores sorted in the entire space. I just saw how dusty that extension cable was, so first I vacuumed the most of the dust off, then I wiped the rest with a damp cloth. Just be careful when you use your clothes, make sure to avoid getting water to drip in the sockets. The safest is if you unplug it while you clean it and make sure your cloth is only damp.
Put all your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance and sing. There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
It looks a bit messy but clean in the same time. It's the first coat of primer, so it doesn't really matter how it looks. Instead, the coverage is the more important, to cover the wall surface so the other coats can stick to the primer. Also, I said it looks clean because by covering all the imperfections and marks, the skirting board really looks cleaner. I just went around the whole space touching up or painting. Yesterday I only got the behind the sofa part done just so I can move everything back. Last night we slept in the middle of the living room. It wasn't bad, but when you go to sleep in a half apart place and you are out of your usual sleeping place, it does disturb your sleeping a bit. At least it does mine. It actually came handy to paint because it reminded me to move the fridge and get all those cat food and other food pieces cleaned up. Even when you really try to focus to clean every inch of the space, sometimes you just get so coughed up that you forget of some areas, but that's okay. You can always go back and fix it. I just love when I can get everything done in one go so then I can rest more calmly. Everything dusted, wiped, painted, moved back, so it's time to give the rest of the floor a good clean.
Love gets another chance, pretty people holding hands, uplifted by the night, the way that it should be. Can let it slip away, 'cause this might be our final summer day. There's a heat wave, there's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
I think we can all agree that artificial plants are easy to take care, but they do collect dust just as real plants and they lose their attractive look. So this is why I am giving this plant a vacuum. And as I was vacuuming, I saw how dusty the artificial moss is looking, and as I was thinking, how could I get the vacuum close enough to suck up the dust only and not the moss? And I accidentally managed to get the moss vacuumed up. I tried to save it by taking it out from the vacuum tank and shake it, but there wasn't much what I was able to save. Thankfully there was more than enough before, so now I just have the right amount. Then finally our saved rug gets back. We haven't had rug for many days now and the place felt so cold and uncomfortable for our feet, so I am glad that it's back. I really need to decide what rug do I want, because like this it looks and seems like the living room being cut in half. I saw one what I liked, but I forgot to save its link and I haven't found it since, so I could double check if I still like it or not. I usually add things in the basket what I like, but I am not sure about its size or if it's the one. Then I keep it in the basket, and if I still like it after a while, then I know it's truly something what I will wear if it's a clothing piece, or see and use in the house if it's a decor or household item. Just a simple trick if you want to stop impulsive buying.
That can pull us under. You wanna take the pain away, but know that
all it left is the fridge. If we clean the whole area around the fridge, then let's just not rush and take our time to give it a wipe, at least from outside. And at least we can take that off from our kitchen deep cleaning list. That cleaning, let me tell you, will be intense as well, because we not just clean the usual areas, but we will fix inside of some of the cabinets and drawers to make them more practical and everything to be easy to access. I know I keep repeating this, but it's something what truly makes a difference for us, and I see how easier the cleaning and tidying gets with every practically organized space. You can easily organize everything to be Instagram or Pinterest worthy, how they say, but that won't resolve all your issues. When you do something for the look, it won't mean that it will make it useful and easy to clean. And if you want to save time on your cleaning, that's how you truly can make a difference, that you organize everything in a way that is easy to access, so you don't have to make the room first for the item what you want to put away, what actually not just saves times but encourages you to put it away. I am sure you will be more tend to place items back what only need a few seconds than one which takes a few minutes just to convince yourself to make the space for it. And this is our spotless clean canvas ready for us to add a few personal touches what will make the space feel cozy and warm and transforms a house into a home. Now just don't take the kitchen in the picture because as I said, I cannot be in two different spaces in the same time, so the kitchen got a bit neglected, but soon we will fix that too.
I was born as a fighter. We fade, but we're better than that. We're better than that.
I love decorating our home, I love transforming it into a pleasant place. Now it's a bit controversial, but I try my best to not to overdo the decorating and just add a few touches here and there. I am saying it's controversial because for some of you it might feel too much, but for some of you may won't be enough. It really depends on which part of the minimalist scale are you. I would say I am somewhere in the middle, and I don't really like the term of minimalist because it has different meaning for everyone. I more like to use the word simple, and that's my ultimate goal, to make our home simple for simple living. So less time spent with cleaning, but having that dream clean, cozy home.
I know you know, so why we holding on, holding on. Yeah, seems like we're back on start, but go. I go right and you go left before it turns to red. It's true.
As you can see, I am not really adding much decor, it's more like changing the flowers and greeneries just to bring a bit of spring inside. Then I just had this runner what I wanted to return, but in the end I didn't need it to, so if I have it then I said let's just use it. I also like to have a base decor where only a few greenery or small ornaments need to be changed. It takes less time to decorate but also makes things look different than before. Here I felt like the lilies are a bit off, but this greenery with flowers is a bit too much. I left it for a few minutes to see if I can get used to it, and if not then I will change it.
But only one that cuts to pieces. So why we tryna hide from trust? We could just leave.
For the sofa I added a white blanket, and for first I thought I will add it in a more relaxed, thrown-on style, but as I added the pillow covers I felt like the kids anyway leave it to me in that style, so it doesn't feel like a decorating style or touch anymore, so in the end I just folded it.
We fade, but we're better than that. Yeah, we're better than that. I know you know, so why are we holding on, holding on? Yeah, seems like we're back on start.
And as you know me, I cannot without a runner, so I added one on the coffee table as well. Probably I should iron it, but not today. I would lie if I would say I haven't got a bit tired from that much cleaning, but I would also lie if I would say it wasn't worth it and I wouldn't do it all over again. Then last spring I got the smaller part of this artificial plant, but then I felt like if it would be taller it would look better, so now I ordered the bigger part as well. Now it looks a proper plant, so I am glad I decided to get it. The only problem now is that since it's taller and there is no weight at the end, the cardboard won't be able to keep it in place for a long time, so in the next part we will fix that with an easy DIY. Here is the final look of the cleaned areas. I love it so much and it's such an amazing and relaxing feeling. And of course I forgot about the door. The door frame's been painted with the same latexy paint as the windowsills what we fixed last spring, but because I would like to change the doors and architraves I haven't repainted them. My problem with this latexy paint is that it gets dirty with every single touch. It's just impossible for me to keep up with it. One day you clean it and after a week it's nasty again. It was in my plans to change the architraves at least in here now, but it's just too much. We already got done so much. Maybe when we get to the hallway deep cleaning, then we could change it everywhere. Anyway, we got to the end of this video as well. If you haven't seen the first part, go and check it out because it's really a part of the whole look of the space. The next video will be the kitchen deep clean and organized, so stay tuned for that. It probably will go on a bit later because next week is half term and we decided to go on a vacation to celebrate our 10th year wedding anniversary. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a lovely weekend and I see you in my next one. Bye guys.
We've said our goodbye.